Hey everybody, it's Coach D here with your daily dose of PE. Today we are going to be focusing on Frisbee skills, specifically how to throw a Frisbee and how to catch a Frisbee, as well as a few activities and games that you can play at your own house. Today we will be focusing on the following PE standards, as well as the following objectives and essential questions. So once you're ready, you need to find a Frisbee if you have one. And if you don't have one, hopefully you have a paper plate that you can find laying around your house. Now this paper plate that I have is a lot heavier and it's a lot thicker. But if the paper plate you are using is lighter and not as thick, you may want to get a couple quarters and tape them to the center of your paper plate, adding some weight so it will be able to be thrown. Once you have your Frisbee or your paper plate, you need to go outside in a safe space with a parent or guardian. And let's get ready to learn how to throw and catch a Frisbee. All right, so hopefully now you're in a big safe space outside and you have your Frisbee or your weighted paper plate. The first thing we need to talk about is how do you know the difference between the top of the Frisbee and the bottom of the Frisbee? So that's right, the top part of the Frisbee is smooth and flat, and the bottom part of the Frisbee is kind of hollowed out. It's where 3 of our fingers are going to go. And that brings up our next point, is how do you put your hand on the Frisbee for correct placement? You're going to want to take your thumb and put it on the top of the Frisbee. You're going to want to take your index finger and place it right on the edge. You're going to take your last 3 fingers and kind of tuck them underneath so you have a nice good grip. Once again, your thumb goes on the top, index finger on the edge, and your other 3 fingers tucked in underneath for proper Frisbee hand placement. Thumb on top, index finger on the side, other 3 fingers tucked in underneath. Once you have correct hand placement on the Frisbee, you're going to want to then turn your body into a side orientation position. Now, why do you think turning your body in a side orientation position is very important for our Frisbee throw? So after you're in a good side orientation position, you are going to extend your arm. You're going to point towards your target. Maybe that target is a bucket you have set up. Maybe it's a box you have set up on the ground. Maybe you found your jump rope and you've made a circle, or if you're lucky enough to have a hula hoop, you've placed that on the ground. Whatever your target is, I want you to point straight at it. So we're in a side orientation position. We have pointed. You're going to bring the Frisbee back, okay? You want to kind of touch where your belly button is. So side orientation position, your arm is extended, you point, cross back. You are going to take a step in the direction of the target you are throwing to. Why do you think it's important to take that step? What is stepping going to do for our Frisbee throw? So now that you've taken your step, the last part is your follow through and your release. So you're stepping, you are releasing, and you are holding your follow through straight towards your target. Why do you think holding your follow through and releasing the Frisbee straight at your target is important? Make sure your hand placement is correct on the Frisbee. You're going to point towards your target, cross the Frisbee over, step, release, follow through. Hand placement, point towards your target, cross, step, release, follow through. So now that you know how to throw a Frisbee and hopefully you've practiced some good throws, we need to talk about how to catch a Frisbee. There are two ways that you can do this. The first way, which I think is the easier way, is a pancake catch. So when you go to catch the Frisbee, you put one hand on top and one hand on the bottom, and you kind of squish it, pancake it between your hands. The second way to catch a Frisbee is just a one-handed catch, or what I like to call the alligator chomp catch. So using either your dominant or non-dominant hand as the Frisbee's coming at you, you kind of chomp the Frisbee. So my top four fingers are on top and my thumb is underneath. So once again, pancake catch or alligator chomp catch. And remember, keep your eye on that Frisbee, especially if you are playing and throwing with another person. Why do you think it's important to keep your eye on the Frisbee? So I have my hands up, pancake catch it, keeping my eye on the Frisbee, one-handed alligator chomp catch. So this game is called the bottle game. You can do this activity by yourself. So you just set up any kind of bottle. I use a Gatorade bottle on top of a bucket, but you can set it on top of a box. And you're just trying to knock it off. You can challenge yourself and maybe every time you knock it off, take a step back. You can also assign points. So maybe every time you knock the object off, you get 5 points. Maybe any time that you hit the object that it's sitting on. So if I hit the bucket, that's 1 point. So have fun with it. Feel free to come up with some unique rules for yourself. In this next scene, my dog Elsa even gets involved in the Frisbee fun. So feel free to include your family, pets, and your family when playing these games. So this next game is called Frisbee Cornhole. You can do it by yourself or with a partner. If you throw the Frisbee and it misses, no points. If you throw the Frisbee and it hits the bucket or the box, whatever you're using, it's 1 point. And if you throw it and it goes in, that's worth 2 points. Watch my brother's throw. What does he forget to do? Did you catch it? This next game is called Can Jam. You're going to need to get 2 buckets, 2 boxes, spread them about 10 feet apart. You're going to throw the Frisbee to your partner. If your partner can knock it in the bucket, it's worth 2 points. So you're not really allowed to catch the Frisbee and drop it in the top. You have to kind of slam it in. If it hits the bucket, it's worth 1 point. The first team or the first player to get to 21 points wins. And once again, have fun with it. Feel free to create your own rules, get your pets involved, get your family members involved. So those are just a couple of Frisbee activities that you can do either on your own or with a friend or family member. So I can't wait to hear what you all thought about those. And before we say goodbye, let's go over the following essential questions one more time to see if you can answer them. Until next time, everybody. See you later. Why do you stand in a side orientation position when getting ready to throw the Frisbee? How do you know the difference between the top and the bottom of the Frisbee? Why is your follow-through so important on the Frisbee throw? And what are the 2 different types of ways to catch a Frisbee?